Welcome. In this lecture, we will talk about safe disposal techniques for waste. We would begin with some introductory terms and then we will dive into details and the methods for each of those. So to begin with, the very first term is composting. Now, composting simply means decomposition of the waste, but this decomposition involves what? It involves a process which requires oxygen and therefore we say it is aerobic. The next important method is incineration. Incineration is burning of the waste. Now this process of incineration can be done in various ways. Usually there is an incineration chamber where the waste is put. Now this waste reduces in volume as well as weight. But one major drawback that we see here is a lot of exhaust fumes are released which are actually hazardous or harmful. The next is the most simple way which could be done at the household level, and this is segregation of the waste. Segregation into dry waste, wet waste or biodegradable waste, non-biodegradable waste. Then the sewage lines, wastewater discharge and treatment in the sewage line has to be checked. Also, we need to focus on that from the industries, discharge is released into the water bodies, and when this discharge is released in the water body, it actually reduces the amount of oxygen, or we can say it depletes the amount of oxygen in the water, leading to the death of the flora and the fauna. Now, this is mainly induced by human activity and this process is what is known as eutrophication. The next important process that we would understand is when we study about the concept of food web. Now what is food web? Each hierarchy level, that's from grass to grasshopper to let's say mouse, right? Now what happens is, let's say some insecticides are sprayed in the grass. When grasshopper would feed on this grass, the amount of insecticide in the body of the grasshopper would be higher as compared to the grass. Further higher in the body of mouse. That means as the complexity of organism increases, as the difficulty or the hierarchy in the food web increases, and each of these levels are known as what we know, these are called as trophic levels. So with each trophic level, the complexity or the amount of chemicals would increase, and this process is what is known as biomagnification. Now, there are numerous insecticides, chemicals which are part of it. One such chemical is DDT, dichloro-diphenyl trichloroethane, which has now been banned. Previously, it was used as an insecticide in agricultural fields. There are other important things that we need to understand, mainly soil pollution. Now, disposal of the solid waste, semi-solid waste, biomedical waste, industrial waste, e-waste, all of these needs to be segregated. Landfills is another way because dumping of the waste can be done. It can be done in an open site or it could be done in a sanitary site. So we would understand that in a while. So this was just an overview to understand this. Now, talking about the municipal solid waste. So here what we are trying to do is trying to segregate only the municipal solid waste. Besides municipal solid waste, what are the other types of waste? We already know. As I mentioned, biomedical waste, industrial waste, e-waste, electronic waste as it is called as. Now, the process of collection of the waste and segregation is really important. It happens on a day-to-day basis, and the type of debris, whether it is biomedical waste, whether it is industrial waste, has to be identified at source. Once it is identified at source, it can be segregated better. So, we also need to understand whether the waste is being collected from municipal areas, residential areas, whether it is collected from industrial areas, what kind of waste could be generated there, and that knowledge would actually help segregate the waste at source, which is the easiest way of segregation. The next is near the residential areas where waste bins are kept, they should be covered to avoid mosquitoes, flies and diseases and transmission of diseases because of it, which we have already covered in the previous lecture. Also, we need to understand that there should not be any stray animals in and around the waste. The storage of the waste should be proper. It should be dedicated facility. The transport should be proper. While transporting, there should be no spilling. As far as possible, no